Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Pennsylvania for BAPS on Wednesday. July 19th is going to be a monumental World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series event, and I cannot wait to see it. I think BAPS is one of the best racetracks in the state of Pennsylvania, and the improvements to that facility are Port Royal-esque. Now, some people may be like, what do you mean Port Royal-esque? Well, Port Royal didn't used to be the facility and the place that it is today. There was a lot of work done to that facility over the last 20, 25 years to get it to where it is today. And I feel like BAPS is slowly on the rise to be doing the same thing here in the state of Pennsylvania. And this World of Outlaw date is definitely a step in the right direction. While I'm here in Pennsylvania, one of the best tracks in the country, I will also be visiting starting Friday. I'm going to be going over to the Path Valley Speedway, one of the best racetracks in the country and is the best racetrack in the state of Pennsylvania, in my opinion. They got a 2-day show out there. Super late models, 305 sprint cars, micros, I believe modifieds are there as well Friday. I think that's the same thing as Saturday. But Saturday I will be paying homage to the World of Outlaw event at Williams Grove and taking a visit there to say hello to some fans. Hopefully the racing can be good. It's definitely hit and miss. I know at Path Valley Friday, I will not be disappointed in the racing action at all. There's no way to have a bad race at that track. Speaking of bad races, we talk about inverts in the late model world and how they are used to doing them a lot in different formats and things like that because they've got used to working for their money, not just on the cars, but in the show. And that's why they have so many oddball formats, because a lot of money is being put up for them to put on that show. This is the entertainment industry. The fans run the sport. Believe it or not, no matter how many people out there think that they run it, the fans actually do. When it comes to formats and events and inverts, we got a real decent taste of that at Eldora. You had the Eldora Million format and the Kings Royal format. I think that the format with the Kings Royal is a format that is outdated. It encourages sandbagging on a track like we saw, which was very heavy, and obviously everybody loves to see a wide track, but you also have the fan base out there who, we don't hate these slick tracks. We need to get them hooked up and get back to how racing used to be. Well, you got that side of the fan base. You got what you have been asking for. How did you like it? Most people would say it sucked, even though Brett Marks and Rico Abreu did some amazing things. But you don't want to base your format on track conditions. And you don't want people going out there qualifying with, change stacks or different nozzles, trying to detune the motor so that they don't run 100% and are going for that number one qualifying spot. And the Kings Royal influences that because there is no reward for qualifying well. Really, at the end of the day, the Eldora Million format, however, is amazing. And I think we 100% need inverts in this sport. The typical World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series format is what eventually, over time, will lose fans. I understand that it's exciting in today's era, but if you pumped a few more really good competitive team driver combos into the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series with their current format, you're going to have a lot of start where you finish heat races and a lot of start where you finish A mains, especially with the distance that a sprint car race is. It's not 50 or 100 laps on a regular basis like the late model division is. It's 30 most of the time, 30 to 40 laps. So that will eventually lose the fans, and go ask NASCAR and all these other sports on how losing fans work out. It's not going to. You're going to have to worry about threats like dirt track racing. Now, currently, it's okay. World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series format is okay, kind of. I think long-term it has issues. I think invert lives, once again, matter. Now, that doesn't mean you ruin qualifying. See, the difference between the Eldora Million invert and the Kings Royal invert is similar to, the Knoxville Nationals or something along those lines. You get a really good amount of points for qualifying well in those events. And really, no matter how your heat race goes, yes, you can have somebody like the invert was 8 at the Eldora Million on the wheel. You could have somebody go from 8 to 3rd or 8 to 2nd or 8 to win. In both of these scenarios, the high qualifying spots get rewarded enough points to make up for a subpar finish in a heat race and even maybe an A main. You know, maybe this was really good to have this style format with Eldora, because it seems like every time we go to Knoxville, they kind of put out the same similar style format. He has some guy win the A main who's not necessarily a no-name, but is a very big underdog on a qualifying night. And everybody's like, this is why inverts suck, and this is horrible, and this is why nobody likes it. But at the end of the day, the end of the night, you look at the points, and the guy who wins the A may not even be in the A Saturday night. And the guy who qualified well, finished 4th in the heat and 8th or 9th in the A main, is the guy on the pole. You know, so that is a better format in that aspect. I like the Eldora Million. At the end of the day, the Eldora Million A main lined up like a typical World of Outlaw format night would, with the fast guys up at the front. But the racing action leading up to that main event, in those heat races, buddy, on Wednesday, and A mains with the fast guys coming through, all this stuff was action-packed. It wasn't boring. It wasn't typical World of Outlaw night. Now, maybe on a regular one-nighter deal, you could do something with Dash that accumulates points from the qualifying and the heat race and locks in a certain amount of people, and that's how you can get these high qualifiers better starting positions in the A main to give them a better shot to win the A. But I think the Eldora Million format is the perfect format for a 2-day event. It makes these guys who are super fast in qualifying really have to race, not just qualify, to start up front. And it was very, very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. Kings Row format, I think, needs to learn from the Eldora Million format. And that's all I would have to say. And also, seriously considering booking the plane ticket from November 14th or 7th, one of the two, to January 30th or 31st, one of the two, to Australia and experiencing that whole damn thing. I think this coming up season is the time to do it. I hesitated before COVID, and then COVID happened. I don't think I need to do that again. Wallets refill, but time never rewinds. Think of that. Links in the description to join the support. If you got a company or business you want to make this happen, even over there, maybe a team I can cover or follow, reach out. We're always just a couple clicks away. I'm on Facebook. I'm on everywhere. You can always contact me relatively easily. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's also some futuristic plans. And like, share the video, comment below. And as always, be sure to subscribe. We will catch you next time.
But this is how we ride. This is how we do.